The HFY Nebula stretched across space like a river of glowing mist. Its colors swirled in shades of blue and green, shimmering against the black canvas of the stars. Human ships had long avoided this region, believing it was too unstable for exploration. Yet the United Earth Research Convoy moved slowly through the nebula, curiosity driving them forward. Commander Lyra Vance stood on the bridge of the flagship Endurance, her eyes scanning the viewscreen. She had seen countless space sectors, but something about HFY made her uneasy. The nebula was beautiful, but there was an air of danger hidden beneath its glow. "Commander, sensors are picking up movement," said Lieutenant Gyro Kessler, the convoy's youngest officer. "Small vessels, unidentified, approaching fast." Lyra's hand tightened on the console. "Show me visuals." The screen flickered and tiny, sleek ships appeared, moving with precision. They were unlike any human or allied craft. Smooth, metallic, and dark, they moved like predators in the mist. "They're attacking," said Lyra, her voice calm but firm. "Shields up. Alert the convoy. We defend but protect the Academy module at all costs." The Academy module was a separate vessel carrying 50 human younglings, children and teenagers, gifted students selected to study advanced sciences in space. They were young, yes, but brilliant beyond their years. And now they were in danger. In a flash, the alien vessel struck. Energy beams tore through the convoy's shields, forcing ships into evasive maneuvers. The humans were skilled fighters, but these attackers had technology beyond anything humans had seen. "Endurance, we're losing contact with the Academy module," Kessler shouted. Lyra's stomach dropped. She had feared this. The younglings were vulnerable, and now they were gone. The screen flickered, and then, horrifyingly, a holographic projection appeared. A young human girl floated inside a containment field. Her eyes were wide with fear. A voice, deep and resonant, filled the bridge. "Humans, you dare send children into the HFY Nebula, you violate our code, return them or face destruction." Lyra clenched her fists. The Varkari, as they would later learn the attackers were called, had strict rules regarding younglings. They believed children were sacred, and any interference with them was a grave offense. She took a deep breath. "They've taken our younglings. They think they can threaten us. We will not let that stand." Her officers exchanged glances. Fear was present, but so was determination. Humans had a reputation for courage and cunning, and they were about to prove it once again. Lyra turned to her tactical officer, Sergeant Harlan Quinn. "I want a retrieval plan, fast but no reckless moves. We need to outsmart them, not just fight them." Harlan nodded. "We can approach through the nebula's outer perimeter. Sensors are weak there. They won't see us coming." "Good. Prep the team," Lyra ordered. "We're going in." Meanwhile, aboard the Varkari flagship, the younglings were confined in clear energy pods, hovering in a circular chamber. Their fear was palpable, but not a single one panicked. They had been trained in crisis situations, and even in danger, their minds worked quickly. Among them was Samia Rao, a 14-year-old prodigy in artificial intelligence. She studied the alien containment field with fascination. "If I can understand how this works, maybe we can escape," she thought. Her friend Lucas Trent, a 16-year-old pilot trainee, whispered, "We need a plan. The adults can't reach us alone. We have to help them." Samia nodded. "We will, but quietly. They're watching every move." Back on the Endurance, Lyra's team worked swiftly. Using a combination of old-fashioned stealth and clever hacking, they managed to navigate through the nebula's shifting magnetic storms, which interfered with alien sensors. Every second was tense. One wrong move, and the younglings could be lost forever. As the human team approached the Varkari space, Lyra reflected on what she knew about the aliens. The Varkari were rigid in their code, but not cruel. They were warriors with honor, valuing the protection of younglings above all else. But humans were unpredictable, something the Varkari could not always anticipate. "This is our advantage," Lyra said quietly to herself. "They expect fear and submission. They will not expect ingenuity." The humans launched small, unmanned drones first, observing the alien defenses. Energy barriers formed intricate grids, and hovering sentinels patrolled the corridors. The Varkari technology was advanced, but not perfect. Patterns existed, and patterns could be exploited. The first drone returned with critical data. "Barrier frequency is cyclical," Kessler reported. "There's a brief gap every 37 seconds, enough for a small ship to slip through." Lyra's eyes gleamed. "Perfect. We'll go in during the next cycle, prepare the boarding party." "We move in 5 minutes." Meanwhile, the Varkari Council debated. "The humans are entering our space," one of them said. "Do we strike immediately?" Another shook its head. "No, they are clever but reckless. Let them enter. They will reveal themselves. And harming our younglings, that is unthinkable." The humans slipped through the first layer of defenses, moving like shadows among the nebula's glowing clouds. Lyra's heart pounded, but she never wavered. Every officer and soldier knew the stakes. Every action mattered. Inside the alien facility, the younglings were alert. Samia had already begun deciphering the energy patterns of the pods. Lucas worked on creating a distraction by manipulating the power conduits in the chamber. Quietly, they coordinated, their minds sharp and fast. Outside, human drones disrupted the alien surveillance. Sentinels were drawn away, creating small openings. The humans advanced cautiously, blending strategy and patience, a hallmark of human ingenuity. Then the Varkari hologram appeared again, larger this time, its voice echoing. "You dare approach? Do you seek destruction? Children are not weapons. Leave now or face obliteration." Lyra responded firmly, her voice steady, even as the alien warning reverberated across the ship's speakers. "We will not leave without our younglings. You may be advanced, but you cannot break the human will." Her team moved silently, slipping past energy barriers just as the hologram finished speaking. It was a dangerous gamble, but humans had adapted to danger for centuries. Courage, creativity, and teamwork were their greatest weapons. Inside the facility, the younglings had prepared a small tool from their environment, a makeshift device capable of interfering with the containment field. It was risky, but it could work. Samia whispered, "Now, Lucas." A pulse of energy disrupted the field, causing it to flicker. For a brief moment, the pod's restraints loosened. The younglings leaped forward, coordinated and precise, just as Lyra's boarding party entered the chamber. The humans and younglings reunited, a mix of relief and determination on their faces. But there was no time to celebrate. The alarm began blaring, red lights flashing across the alien facility. The Varkari were aware of the intrusion. Lyra's team formed a protective circle around the younglings. "Move! We stick to the plan," she commanded. Every officer and soldier moved with precision, aware that one mistake could be fatal. The Varkari forces advanced, their technology formidable. But humans were resilient and unpredictable. Using a combination of alien tech reverse-engineered by the younglings and quick tactical decisions, they managed to hold off the attackers, buying precious time. As they approached the exit, Lyra glanced back at the Varkari command center. Their eyes met, alien and human, filled with tension and unspoken acknowledgement. Neither species would yield easily. Outside, the nebula awaited, vast and glowing. The humans had made it this far, but the battle was far from over. The younglings were safe for now, but the Varkari were not defeated. And the message was clear. The humans had crossed a line in the eyes of the aliens. Lyra knew this was only the beginning. The Varkari had warned them. But humans had a warning of their own. "You threaten our children, you awaken our wrath." With the younglings aboard and the team regrouped, Lyra set the course for human space, ready for the challenges ahead. The nebula glimmered behind them, beautiful and deadly, as if echoing the coming storm. The stage was set. The humans had taken their first bold step into Varkari territory, showing courage, intelligence, and unity. And the story of human wrath had just begun. The human team and the younglings floated in the dim corridors of the Varkari facility, moving quickly but cautiously. Every sound echoed in the alien structure. The soft hum of energy barriers, the mechanical whir of hovering sentinels, and the faint, rhythmic pulse of the alien technology. The younglings had regained their courage after the initial shock of capture, and their sharp minds were already analyzing their surroundings. Commander Lyra Vance led the group with steady determination. "Stay together, keep quiet, watch the patterns of their patrols." "Every second counts," she said. Lieutenant Kessler's fingers danced over the console of the portable scanner. "Commander, sensors show multiple energy nodes ahead. They're powering the main control room. If we disable them, we can disrupt the entire security grid." Lyra nodded. "Good, Harlan, you and your team take the nodes. The rest of us cover the younglings. Remember, no unnecessary risks. We retrieve the children and leave." Samia Rao, the young AI prodigy, looked up at Lyra with a determined gaze. "I can help with the nodes. I've been studying the alien circuitry. We can manipulate it to open their barriers temporarily." "Perfect," Lyra said. "But be quick. We don't know how long we have before they notice. The team moved through twisting corridors and silent chambers, slipping past sentinels that hovered like metallic ghosts. The humans had learned quickly that the Varkari relied heavily on predictable patrol patterns. Where the aliens were methodical, humans were innovative, finding gaps the Varkari could never anticipate. As they neared the first energy node, Samia knelt beside the complex console. Her hands worked swiftly, scanning the alien code and interfacing her portable hacking device. Sparks of light danced across the console as her device synchronized with the alien system. "Got it," she whispered. "Node 1 is under our control. Barrier at the north corridor will drop in 3 seconds." The humans slipped through the gap just as the energy field blinked off. The aliens had never encountered such coordinated improvisation. Every step they took was measured, calculated, and quick. Meanwhile, Lucas Trent had found a loose panel along the corridor. Using it, he created a small electromagnetic pulse, disabling a sentinel temporarily. The metal drone fell with a clatter, and the team moved past unharmed. The younglings followed closely, their courage shining. Each of them had a skill honed by years of study and training: coding, mechanics, strategy, or quick thinking under pressure. They were not mere children, they were humans capable of resolving complex problems in critical moments. "Node 2 is ahead," Samia said, scanning ahead. "It's more complex, but I can manage it. We just need a distraction." Lyra turned to Harlan and his team. "Create the distraction. Make it big enough for the younglings and the rest of us to reach Node 2 safely." Harlan and his squad moved down a side corridor. Explosions of energy pulses and sparks echoed, drawing attention from alien sentinels. The humans heard the rushing of Varkari footsteps and the hum of their machinery adjusting to the unexpected disturbance. Samia worked faster, fingers flying over her portable console. The barriers flickered and shifted, opening paths for the team. Each human action combined with the younglings' ingenuity created a synchronized wave of disruption, overwhelming the Varkari's ability to react. Just as the team reached Node 2, a deep, resonant voice filled the corridor. "Humans, you dare interfere with sacred wards." The Varkari overseer, a tall figure in dark metallic armor, appeared at the end of the corridor. Its eyes glowed faintly, scanning the intruders. "Return the children or face destruction." Lyra stepped forward, unwavering. "We will not leave without them." "You are wrong if you think threats can stop humans. Courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than fear." The overseer's eyes narrowed. "You are bold, reckless, but boldness alone will not save them." With a wave of its hand, energy beams erupted from the walls, cutting across the corridor. The humans and younglings ducked, rolled, and ran. Each move was precise, a dance between life and death. They relied on human unpredictability, something the Varkari could not anticipate. Lucas shouted, "Samia, Node 2 now!" Samia activated her device. Sparks flew across the console, and the energy barriers melted into nothingness for a brief moment. The humans dashed through the corridor, the younglings following closely. Behind them, the overseer roared in frustration. "They move with the cunning of hunters, but they cannot escape." Lyra's team reached the final barrier before the control room. Kessler scanned the door. "It's reinforced, but I can override it if we time it with Node 3. Samia's eyes widened. "Node 3 is heavily guarded. The Varkari will notice immediately if I touch it." Lyra clenched her jaw. "We have no choice. Prepare for a simultaneous strike. Everyone in position?" Each member nodded. They had learned to trust each other implicitly, understanding that human cooperation and strategy were their greatest advantages. On Samia's mark, Harlan's squad created another distraction, drawing sentinels away from Node 3. In that moment, Samia interfaced with the alien console. Sparks of alien energy surged, and the massive barrier guarding the control room flickered, then vanished. "Go!" Lyra shouted. The humans and younglings stormed into the control room. Panels of glowing alien symbols and machines hummed with energy. The younglings quickly scanned the room. Lucas found a terminal that could cut power to the containment pods, while Samia worked on reprogramming the facility's security systems. "Almost there," she said, fingers moving faster than anyone could see. "Just a few more seconds." The Varkari forces were closing in. The sound of approaching metal feet and mechanical drones grew louder. The humans were outnumbered, but they did not hesitate. Harlan raised his weapon, covering the younglings. "We hold them off as long as possible. Come on, kids, help us." Samia completed her task. The containment field flickered and then collapsed entirely. The pods opened, releasing the younglings. They jumped to safety, faces alight with hope and determination. Lyra's heart soared. They had achieved the first step, had freed the children. But the alarm blared even louder. The Varkari were not defeated. A massive planet-scale weapon in the control room began to power up, its energy signatures glowing ominously. The Overseer's voice boomed. "If you escape with the younglings, this entire facility will be destroyed. You will all perish." Lyra took a deep breath. She knew that direct confrontation was impossible. The humans were skilled and brave, but the aliens had technological superiority. Yet she also knew the strength of human ingenuity. "Everyone, listen carefully," she said. "We can't fight this head-on, but humans are clever. We can turn their own systems against them. Lucas, Samia, you handle the control interface. Harlan, cover them. We leave nothing to chance." The younglings assisted immediately, guided by Lyra's orders. Samia bypassed the main control panel while Lucas manipulated the auxiliary systems. Sparks flew, panels glowed, and the massive weapon began to malfunction under their careful interference. The Overseer's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible. They are manipulating our technology." Lyra's team pushed forward, their movements synchronized. Every human action was calculated, daring, and precise. The younglings proved their worth, showcasing intelligence and courage beyond their years. Finally, with a flash of light, the weapon shut down. The control room fell silent. The humans had succeeded in neutralizing the greatest threat in the facility, at least for now. But the battle was not over. The Varkari forces surged into the control room, and the humans had to fight their way out. Using a combination of alien tech, improvised weapons, and pure human determination, they cleared a path to the exit. Lyra led the group through the twisting corridors, keeping the younglings close. Their escape was tense, every corner hiding potential danger. Yet every challenge strengthened the humans' resolve. They could not fail, not when the younglings' lives were at stake. Finally, the humans reached the hangar bay. Small spacecraft were lined up, ready for deployment. The team boarded quickly, engines humming as the craft powered up. Lyra glanced back at the facility, now a hive of chaos. "Hold on," she said. "We're leaving together." As the hangar doors opened, the Varkari Overseer appeared, blocking their path. Its eyes glowed with fury. "You will not escape. Humanity will pay for this arrogance." Lyra stared at it calmly. "We already have. You threatened our children. You awakened our wrath." And humans never forgive weakness in justice. With a surge of speed and precise maneuvering, the humans piloted their craft through the hangar doors. Energy beams sliced the walls around them, but they dodged each strike with skill and determination. Once in open space, they pushed toward the nebula's edge. Behind them, the Varkari facility glimmered in the mist, a reminder of the dangers yet to come. But for now, the humans had achieved the impossible. They had freed the younglings and survived against overwhelming odds. Lyra allowed herself a small smile. "We've done it for now, but this is only the beginning. They will come after us again, and next time we will be ready." The younglings looked at her with admiration and gratitude. They had faced fear and danger, yet they had risen to the challenge with courage and intelligence. The humans had not only survived, they had demonstrated the true strength of their species: unity, ingenuity, and unwavering resolve. And somewhere deep within the nebula, the Varkari Council reconsidered their assessment of humanity. They had encountered a force more formidable than technology alone. Humans were unpredictable, resilient, and capable of great courage. The stage was set for the final confrontation. Humanity's true power, the power of its heart, mind, and unity, was only beginning to show. The human craft slipped through the HFY nebula, its engines humming softly against the swirling glow of the gas clouds. The younglings clutched their seats, still shaken but alive, their minds already racing with what they had survived. Commander Lyra Vance sat at the helm, eyes scanning the starfield ahead, alert for any pursuit. "We can't slow down," she said. "They'll track us." "Keep shields at maximum and stay in formation," Lieutenant Kessler nodded. "Sensors show multiple Varkari ships approaching. They're fast and heavily armed. We can't outrun them all." Lyra clenched her jaw. "Then we won't run. Humans don't run when protecting their own." The younglings, inspired by her words, straightened in their seats. Lucas Trent, the pilot trainee, gripped the console tightly. "We can help. We know the nebula better than anyone. We can create a path that confuses their sensors." Samia Rao added, and I can manipulate the energy fields to create blind spots. They won't see us coming until it's too late. Lyra allowed herself a small nod. Do it. Every second counts. Outside, the Varkari pursuit ships moved like shadows against the nebula's glow. They were fast, precise, and relentless, but the humans had something the Varkari could not measure: unpredictable creativity. Lucas piloted the ship through twisting paths of dense gas and magnetic storms, weaving around massive energy clouds. Each turn was calculated, yet daring, forcing the Varkari ships to constantly adjust. Every maneuver tested the limits of human skill. Samia focused on the nebula's electromagnetic distortions. Using a portable interface connected to the ship's systems, she amplified the magnetic pulses, creating zones of temporary invisibility. The pursuing ships were caught off guard repeatedly, their targeting systems failing to lock onto the human craft. Lyra smiled quietly. Humans adapt, they improvise, and they never give up. But the Varkari were persistent. The Overseer's voice echoed across the communications channel. You will not escape. Submit now or be destroyed. Lyra responded, calm and unwavering. We do not submit. You threatened our children. You awoke humanity's wrath. You will learn that courage and unity are stronger than fear. The Varkari launched a concentrated assault, energy beams cutting through the nebula's mist. The human ship shook, panels sparking as shields absorbed the impact. Crew and younglings held on, their faces a mix of fear and determination. Divert all power to shields, Lyra commanded. Kessler, initiate countermeasures. The ship's defenses flared, sending reflective pulses of energy that disrupted several Varkari vessels. One ship collided with an energy cloud, its systems momentarily disabled. The humans had created chaos among their pursuers, proving once again that ingenuity could rival technology. But the greatest challenge awaited. The Varkari had prepared a secret weapon, a planet-scale energy cannon capable of destroying entire fleets. Sensors now detected the weapon powering up, a glowing mass of destructive energy building in the distance. Lyra's heart tightened. If the weapon fired, the convoy, the younglings, and even Earth itself could face devastation. We need a plan, she muttered. Fast. Samia's eyes lit up. We can reverse the polarity of their weapon. If we overload their energy core with a feedback loop, it will disable the cannon temporarily. But we have to get close enough. Lucas's hands flew over the controls. I can pilot us near, but we'll be exposed. It's risky. Lyra clenched her jaw. We've faced worse. We do this together. Everyone knows their role. Every human nodded. The younglings, despite their age, were ready to contribute. Bravery was in their blood as much as it was in the adults around them. The ship surged forward, dodging laser fire and weaving through the nebula's hazards. Samia interfaced with the Varkari cannon remotely, guided by information she had gathered during the previous infiltration. Sparks flew across the ship's console as she worked tirelessly. Almost there, she whispered, her voice tense. The energy weapon glowed brighter, its hum vibrating through the ship. Now, Lucas, push us closer, Lyra shouted. The ship surged forward, skimming dangerously close to the weapon. Alarms blared, warning of overheating and energy surges. Yet the humans pressed on, their resolve unbroken. Samia activated her device, sending a feedback pulse directly into the weapon's core. Energy surged, cracking the cannon's containment field. The weapon flickered violently, then shut down with a deafening pulse. The Varkari fleet reeled in shock. The Overseer's voice rang out, strained with disbelief. Impossible, humans, you defy reason, Lyra gritted her teeth. We do not rely on reason alone. We rely on heart, courage, and unity. That is what makes humans strong. With the weapon disabled, the human convoy took full advantage. They surged forward, launching a counteroffensive that combined careful strategy and improvisation. Each maneuver was designed to outthink rather than outfight the Varkari. Harlan's squad created diversions using the remaining alien drones, turning them against their own fleet. Lucas piloted with unmatched skill, leading the younglings through protective paths, while Samia manipulated the energy fields to block pursuit. The Varkari tried to regroup, but their rigid tactics could not match human flexibility. Every attempt to strike the humans was met with creative evasion, improvisation, and coordinated teamwork. Finally, the human convoy emerged from the nebula, the Varkari retreating. The younglings cheered, relief flooding their faces. Lyra allowed herself a rare smile. Humanity had survived, and more than that, they had triumphed through ingenuity, courage, and unity. But Lyra knew this was more than survival. It was a lesson for the Varkari. Humans were not merely a species to be underestimated. They were adaptable, brave, and morally unyielding, and if anyone threatened their children, humanity would rise with unstoppable force. The younglings approached Lyra, gratitude in their eyes. Samia spoke first. "Commander, we did it. We really did it." Lyra placed a hand on her shoulder. "No, we all did it. Each of you showed bravery, intelligence, and heart. That's what makes humans strong. Never forget that." Lucas added, "I never knew humans could be this clever together. It's like we can do anything when we work as one." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. That is our greatest strength. Not weapons, not numbers. It's our mind, our courage, and our unity." Back on Earth, news of the daring rescue and the Varkari confrontation spread quickly. Humans celebrated not just survival, but the triumph of spirit and intelligence over superior technology. The story became a lesson. When humanity is challenged, it does not back down. It adapts, overcomes, and emerges stronger. Meanwhile, in their distant stronghold, the Varkari Council convened. The overseer spoke solemnly. "We misjudged them. They are not weak, impulsive, or inferior. They are resilient, inventive, and morally guided. We cannot underestimate them again." Another council member added, "They act with courage not only for themselves but for the young. That is a code we must respect." Thus, humanity had taught the Varkari an unexpected truth. Strength is not only in power, but in heart, unity, and intelligence. The humans returned to their normal duties, but nothing would ever be the same. The younglings, once students, had become heroes of human resilience, inspiring generations to come. Lyra looked at them, pride shining in her eyes. "We've faced impossible odds," she said quietly, "and we've survived. Not because we are perfect, but because we are human. We think, we adapt, and we never give up. That is what makes us strong." In the nebula's distance, the Varkari retreated to reconsider their approach. They would not attack humans again lightly, for they had witnessed a species that fights not only with strength, but with heart, mind, and courage. And in the hearts of the younglings, a lesson had been imprinted forever. Bravery and unity can overcome any threat, no matter how advanced or powerful. Lyra Vance looked at the stars ahead, the nebula fading behind them. Humanity had won this battle, but the universe was vast, and challenges would come again. Yet she felt no fear, because humans always rose to challenges. They were resilient, clever, and unstoppable when united. The final words echoed in her mind, a promise to any who would threaten humanity. "You captured our younglings, you sought disaster, but humanity does not forgive, and we never forget. This is our warning. You face not just a species, you face a spirit that will never break." With that, the human convoy sped forward, toward new adventures, new challenges, and new victories, the nebula behind them glowing like a silent witness to their courage. The story of human wrath had reached its peak, leaving a lasting mark across the stars. It was a story of survival, courage, and the unpredictable power of the human spirit, a testament to why humanity, above all else, was a force to be reckoned with.